Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Divorced Woman's Guide podcast. How are you doing today? Did you remember to subscribe so that you don't miss an episode? Well, go ahead and click that button and make sure that you get my episode that drops every single week when it drops. So I am really looking forward to tuning in today to this episode because it's just in time for Valentine's Day. And in today's episode, I want to share with you guys something that goes a little bit against the grain. And as you guys know who I am and who I tend to be, that's kind of my jam. So today's episode is about all the reasons why I actually dislike Valentine's Day. And this is not something that is a result of my divorce. This is something that has actually been a belief of mine, even while I was married. I could even ask my ex-husband. I have always disliked Valentine's Day, and I'm going to tell you guys why. And I don't think it's for the reason that you guys think that it is. So let me know if what I'm about to say surprises you or it's what you expected. And that is that I dislike Valentine's Day because I believe that we should not only show ourselves love every single day, but we should also be showing those that we do love that we love them every single day. And what angers me so much about Valentine's Day is that it tends to be a hallmark holiday. And for me, it's an excuse for everyone to just almost love dump on one day a year. And for me, every single day should be a love fest. 365 days a year should always be dedicated to loving yourself and loving the people in your life. And I know that when those of you who are going through divorce, good Lord knows it's hard enough to find something positive to think. But I'm here to inspire you that there is something that you get to think about that is positive, that there is something that you do love about yourself, that just because you are where you're at doesn't mean that you're not lovable, right? As I remember when I was beginning my own journey to self-love, I began to realize that not only was I capable of finding love every single day, of figuring out a way to love myself every day, I also realized that I had the strength and the power within me to find that. Now, when I was married, I would definitely be looking for that reflection in my now ex-husband's eyes. But my divorce really provided me with an opportunity to learn a really important self-love lesson. And I invite you right now to even think about what your lesson might be. What is it that you might be learning in this moment about yourself, about loving yourself? And I'm going to give you guys a couple of different tips where you can start figuring out new ways, just like I did, that you can start loving yourself and loving the people around you. Okay. The first one is revisiting any old hobbies or things that you used to like to do, but couldn't do at the time. Now, for me, these are things like going on a hike, actually reading a book. I love to read, and I never made the time for myself, literally until I got divorced. Sometimes it's just sitting outside in my backyard. What are some of the hobbies or pastimes that you gave up that you can show yourself love by doing it every day? Now, it doesn't mean that it has to be a half hour of doing something. It can just be 5 minutes, just reading. Set a goal of 10 pages a day, and you'll notice how uplifting that creates, like how much uplift you have in your day. Like you have that extra skip, that extra hop in your step. And it really makes a huge difference. Another tip that I'd love to share with you guys is to start thinking about dating yourself, loving on yourself, right? It's so important that we understand the things about ourselves that we love, that we are grateful to have, right? It's not about what other people see in us. It's about what we truly love about ourselves. And sometimes that has to do with maybe it's a flaw or two that we need to kind of shove out of the way, that we need to admit, but then to find a positive in those things, right? One of my flaws is that I tend to, I kind of have like a little OCD on like cleaning up certain areas of my house, and I get really annoyed if it's not cleaned up before I go to bed. And so some people may find that really annoying, but for me, it's something that's really important. So I start accepting that that's a part of me. And it's just a part that people have to get used to if they're going to be in my life, specifically if that's my boyfriend or if it's my kids. They know that that's something really important. And for me to be able to love myself for the fact that I like to have a clean house instead of seeing it as something negative. Do you see how if I saw that as something negative, it would lower my self-esteem? It would make me dislike myself. But instead, I embrace it because it's something about me that I love. It's something about me that is important. I like having a clean home, and I'm not going to sacrifice my desire for that. And someone gets to love all of me, even if it's not something that in the past I've seen as a positive. And the last thing I want to tell you guys that has to do with what I've been talking about is really starting to pay attention to your thoughts. Just like I gave you guys that example, is really starting to pay attention to how it is that you speak to yourself. Because what I know to be true is that we are so mean when we speak to ourselves, and we would never dream of speaking that way to anybody else in our life. But yet we make excuses and think that it's okay to speak to ourselves that way. So the easiest step I think that you guys can start taking as we're heading into this season of Valentine's Day, and really seeing it as a reminder that this is something that you guys get to commit to doing 365 days a year instead of just one day a year, is really starting to love yourself. And I believe that those 3 tips that I shared are really easy ways for you guys to start practicing that every single day. It doesn't just have to happen one day a year. So get out of your mindset about what you think Valentine's Day is supposed to be. It is a societal created holiday. It is not the truth of what I believe gets to happen and what life should look like. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode. I know that I really love sharing my wisdom with you guys. And I also love hearing your feedback. So let me know what you thought about today's episode. Email me at wendy@wendysterling.net. If you're looking for support, I'm always here to help you guys. You just need to go to contactwendy.com and schedule a time. It's with me. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, whatever it is that you guys are up to. Sending you all tons of love, light, and joy as always. Mwah. Bye, everybody.